Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another segment of On the Clock. I'm by myself, as you can see, and today we're going to be talking about the recent trade grades. I have 3 here so far. Basically, like the good, because I know like there's one trade that happened with the Cowboys, Jonathan Hankins, and with all due respect, we just didn't put that there. We will post it on the Twitter though. I'm pretty sure it already happened, so go check it out. Twitter's going to be on the description below and later in this video. So yeah, let's just kick it off right quick. Okay, so for the first trade, I got James Robinson going to the Jets. Well, it happened already. I don't got it. It happened already. And I'm going to give it... I gave the Jaguars a D+. The reason why I gave the Jaguars a D+ is only because they got a conditional 6, which is going to be a 5th because he's going to be James Robinson is going to be the leading rusher in New York. And I don't necessarily agree with trading him for that low. Maybe it was like a desperacy move. Then again, the Jets... That's why I gave him an A- because they have now 2 years of control. They got the 5th-year player option, and they have the cheap deal that they have this year, which is like $750K, something like that. It's a steal, basically. I would have offered low-key like a 4th or maybe even a 3rd. I would have offered like a 4th-round pick. I think a 5th conditional is too small. And the fact that Travis Etienne is their only running back now. Who else do they have that can produce as much as James Robinson did? James Robinson had only one 100-yard rushing, game this year, but that's because, they don't play him anymore. They're starting to go with Etienne, and James Robinson is not a bad running back at all. He broke out a while back. He had the ACL injury, yes, then he came back and balled out, and he's a baller, an absolute underrated runner. But that's why I give the Jaguars a D+ because it's just too cheap for me. I would have offered more, and I give the Jets an A- simply because of the 5th-round pick. I give him an A- because instead of an A+ because next year you're gonna have Breece Hall back. How are they gonna distribute that? You have Breece Hall, you have Michael Carter, and you have James Robinson. Who, me personally, I put James Robinson as RB2, and kind of run a dual running back system, like the Cowboys do. And like the other team that I can't remember at the moment. Wow, it's fogging me. Like the Browns do, So maybe it could work. Maybe they could be a really, really dangerous running attack next year, and it can even bolster their stock more. But for now, we just have to see how that goes. Now, next is Robert Quinn to the Eagles. This happened yesterday night. I did say that Robert Quinn needed to be traded. Like I would have preferred him to get traded. There is another video about that. Check it out on the channel. And I did comment on him being traded. He should be traded because the Bears need to go on full-scale rebuild. Yeah, they have their quarterback of the future, and he's been improving as the season has progressed. But they need their quarterback. They need their team of the future. They need to start getting rid of assets that they can now get high picks for or get some value for it, and then produce with the draft picks. Now that they have a new GM, create an entire new system, an entire new culture, and progress from there. I give the Eagles a B because of the money. He's due a lot of money, like a lot of money, this year and the next year, and then the non-guaranteed in 2024. So we'll see what happens there. And he only has 1 sack on the year, so there's not much production. Then again, the Eagles do have more dangerous weapons, so you could see more production there. He could raise that sack total from 1 to maybe like 5, 6, I'm going to say, by the end of the year. Because you do have Hassan Reddick, you have Josh Sweat, you have Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave. That D-line, that defense in general is gorgeous. And the fact that the Eagles are probably not done yet, more to come in a later video, is just ridiculous to me. That's why I give him a B, though, because of the money. It's a lot of money. Howie Roseman, if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, it would be if they win the Super Bowl this year, it's going to be an A+. But if they don't, I would leave it at a B because it's the money. You see what happens next year. Probably trade one of your defensive linemen, however that goes. The Bears, I give an A+ because they got rid of the contract. Yeah, there's some dead cap that comes with it, but they got rid of the contract, and that's what matters. Because now that tells you, even though they won their last game, and even though Justin Fields is looking really good, you need to retool that offensive line. Your defense is doing pretty well for Roquan Smith and him to be struggling. They're doing pretty well for themselves. So you just kick in. You start rebuilding. Ryan Poles, former Kansas City member, staff member, GM for the Bears now. He didn't draft that team. So he can make the choices to move on from players. You got David Montgomery. You got Roquan Smith. You can add Eddie Jackson. You had a bunch of pieces there that you got some good value pieces there that you can move that other teams would be willing to have, and just kickstart that rebuild, help protect Justin Fields, and then prosper from there. The whole point of the Bears franchise now, their only chance is to rebuild, because you're not going to compete with the Packers once they pick up, hopefully, if they do trade for a receiver, they're going to start picking it up. The Vikings are there already. You're not going to be able to compete in that division and in the NFC. So rebuild while you can now that you have the assets. And for the last trade, happened today, actually, a couple hours ago, if I'm not mistaken. I checked, here's 3:18. Happened maybe 3-4 hours ago. Kadarius Toney to the Chiefs. I gave them both A grades. The only reason why I gave the Chiefs an A and the Chiefs the better grade is because now they have even more speed, even more weapons to give Patrick Mahomes, and he's under contract to 2025, including that 5th-year option, because he's a rookie and he's a second-year player on a rookie scale contract, which can go up to 5 years for first-round picks. So that's just insane, right? The value that they got for that. And the fact that they traded a conditional third that they got from Ryan Poles going to the Bears, and a 6th. If I'm not mistaken, they're all this year. The thing with that is, it's amazing. It's just amazing because Kadarius Toney's got the speed. He's got the playmaking ability to catch the ball and run with it. They got Mecole Hardman already. They got Sky Moore already, who's kind of like a Kadarius Toney. And, let's see what happens later on, because they probably don't bring back Juju, even though he's doing pretty well. And they also have Travis Kelce, which is insane. And they have Marquez Valdes-Scantling with their speed left and right. There's catching ability left and right. And Patrick Mahomes makes him better. That's what makes him the most valuable player in the NFL. Obviously, we have to see what Josh Allen does in his return from the bye week, because the bye week does affect teams sometimes. That's why that's why I made that bet with Santi in episode 4 coming up on Monday for the fries, and you should check it out when it comes out. And yeah, the Kadarius Toney trade I really like, and the Giants, I really like that they got value off of him. The only reason why I gave him an A- is because they're missing receivers now. They got Kenny Golladay, who's not performing and always getting injured. Sterling Shepard's injured. Darius Slayton's going off right now. I do see them trading for a receiver, maybe a Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, something like that. I do see them trading for one, because they're going to need it, especially if you're 6-1 trying to get into it and make a playoff run. So I don't expect them to make the playoff run, to go deep in the playoffs. If they make the playoffs alone this year, that's a huge dub, an absolute huge dub. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. And yeah, that'll be all for this video. There is more to come. We got power rankings, we got trade videos, we got tier lists, debates, those long episodes, and we got a lot more content coming out later on. Go ahead and please like and subscribe, comment your opinions, comment what you guys want on the episodes or what kind of videos you guys want us to shoot out, and turn on post notifications. Hopefully we get this up and going. Hopefully we become big soon and we get more entertainment out for you guys, better quality, all that stuff. And yeah, peace.